Hi everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be ending our series for the female part of lifestyle and infertility. So what I'm going to be talking today about is factors that affect our fertility, but we can't really say in a wholesome that it's clear cut. Yeah, we know it does. We need to do more studies again, but there's inconclusive evidence. Yeah. So if you're interested, keep watching. This is Dr. Wanjiru Ndegwa, and you're watching Footsteps to Fertility. So today we're going to be talking about factors that affect our fertility. We know they do, but some studies have shown they don't, and some studies have shown they do, and therefore we're at that point where we need more structured, strong studies to say that they do or they don't. One of the things is psychological stress. And I'm going to talk about this because I feel a lot of clients, before they even come to have a checkup with a fertility doctor, are already stressed psychologically. And we see it. We have clients who come in and their blood pressure is high. And it's never been high in their life. It's only high right now because they're coming in and they're anxious. And that's a form of stress. So there is psychological stress around fertility. I mean, you can't not be stressed when this person is getting pregnant, and you're trying as much as you can. You have no idea what's going on, or you do have an idea, but it's not happening. So how do we measure what stress is? You know, there are people who actually are stressed and have no idea they're even stressed. So I think that's why we can't say it is associated, like conclusive data, saying that stress is associated with fertility, because you can't really gauge stress. There are people who are normal, have a normal life, and just then break down at once. They didn't know they were stressed. Or people who have hypertension, and when are asked or go for a psychology visit, then, I mean, it reveals all the stress. So it's not very easy to quantify stress, and therefore we can't. But I will say this, that the couples who come in who are happier and, for lack of a better word, kind of leave it to God, tend to get better results. And that for me is enough to tell me that stress does play a part. Scientifically, it's inconclusive, but for me, I will say that if you're happier, if you let things be, if you take it a bit lightly and not let it get to you so much, you tend to get better results. So please try and be less stressed when we're trying. It's harder. I tell them, oh, be less stressed, but how do we do this? And the evidence behind being less stressed is some people, we've done even treatments. We've done IVF, it doesn't work. But we tell them, okay, go on holiday, and they come back pregnant. So what's the difference? It's a psychological stress, yeah? So try and be less stressed, that's all I'm saying. So the number 2 thing that is inconclusive, but we do think it has a link, is caffeine. We're drinking more caffeine. There's more coffee. People are on coffee all the time. Caffeine is in tea. It's in all these soft drinks. It's in Coke. It's in Coke Zero. It's in a lot of the things that we take. So this has not been hard fact again, but we do see that women who take more caffeine in pregnancy are more likely to get a stillbirth. And that's why in pregnancy we advise you, okay, let's do decaf. If you must take your coffee, let's do decaf. Nothing has really pinpointed, okay, caffeine is doing this or doing this. We do think sometimes that it affects our hormone levels and then decreases in terms of conception, the number of eggs we get, and probably the implantation rate of our embryos. But we're not really sure, because you can't also quantify how many drinks of caffeine, how many cups of coffee must I take for me to, not conceive, or how many cups of coffee do I have to take? So nothing has been done in terms of hard research to say if I take 8 cups of coffee, I'm not going to conceive. So we do know that there is a link, and that's why we do advise women to reduce the amount of coffee that they're taking, or to try and do decaf when they're trying to get pregnant. So not hard evidence, but we do see that there is some relation. So please, let's do decaf. Let's stop drinking the Coke Zeros and stuff. I know they have no calories, but they have the other effects of caffeine. And let's try. I will say that someone asked me, oh, but our mothers drink so much tea. You see her with a thermos, and they have like 7 babies. That's true, and that's why it's inconclusive, but we do see that it does have an effect. albeit smaller. And we do advise you to reduce on that while we're trying to conceive. So the third and I think very important point for women is alcohol. I think in the olden days, women never used to drink a lot of alcohol. And now people say, a glass of wine every day. Or we do know that wine helps. But alcohol, yes, it's in those inconclusive factors, but it does affect our fertility in terms of our hormones. The thing that we, again, don't know about alcohol, how many units? Is it 1 unit? Is it 7 to 8, which means every day that we're taking a unit or a glass of wine? We're not too sure about how many units affect our conception. But we do know that there is a relationship. And I think it's important that anything that is not required for us to take in pregnancy, really we should not also take it in the conception period, because we don't know how it's affecting our unborn child. So, I mean, I know a lot of people who say, we had an oops baby and I've been drinking so much. This baby was even conceived when I was, in another state. And nothing happened, but that doesn't happen for everybody. So for me, the alcohol, the smoking, all these things, we really need to tone it down if we really want to have babies. If we want our conception to be easier. Not hard evidence again, but there is a link. The more alcohol you take, the less likely you are to get pregnant. It's just that we haven't quantified the units. And it is a teratogen, meaning what a teratogen means is that it affects the cells of the baby. And if you know that, then would you really want to be, drinking excessively when we're trying to conceive? I don't think so. So these 3 points that I've just said, the alcohol, the stress, and the caffeine, nothing pinpoints them like this clear cut. If you're drinking 7 cups or 7 glasses of wine, you're gonna not get pregnant. But we have found that they do affect our fertility. So if you're in the preconception stage, please avoid all these things. So we hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned something. Please share with a friend who needs to hear this information. Like, comment, inbox us. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Dr. Wanjiru Ndegwa, and you're watching Footsteps to Fertility, where we walk with you.